Have you been feeling something strange this month, like the world has gone quiet, but your soul has gotten louder? If yes, this message might be for you, but be warned. This spiritual calling of June isn't for everyone. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's not for those chasing attention or fame. It's for the ones who walk silently with purpose, the chosen ones. And strangely, the narcissists may hear it too, but they'll hear it the wrong way. This month is not just a season, it's a test of your heart, your intentions, and your truth. Some will be lifted, some will be exposed, and many won't even realize what's happening until it's too late. In this video, we're going to dive into the 16 signs and secrets of this spiritual shift, and how to know if you're being called or just caught in your own pride. It might shake you a little, it might open your eyes, but one thing is for sure. It's going to awaken something deep inside you. So stay with me until the end, because every part of this message is a piece of a bigger puzzle. And if this speaks to your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Join our growing family by subscribing, showing love in the comments, and sharing your story. You're not alone in this journey. We rise together, and we awaken together. Let's uncover the truth behind the call of June, because not everyone is ready to hear it, but you just might be. June has arrived, but something feels different this time. It's not just about the weather changing or the days getting longer. Deep inside, in a quiet space within our hearts, something has shifted. It's as if the air carries a new kind of energy, something we can't see with our eyes but can feel in our spirit. This isn't just a normal month. June has brought a mysterious spiritual change, and it's already starting to affect people in different ways. Some may feel a strange pull to be alone, to think more deeply, or to let go of things that no longer feel right. Others might feel emotional for no clear reason, happy one moment and sad the next. That's because a quiet awakening has begun. It's not loud, it doesn't make a big announcement, but it's here and it's real. This energy is shaking things from the inside out. People who are in tune with their inner world, the chosen ones, will feel it clearly. But others may miss it completely, walking through June as if nothing is happening at all. Here's the hook. Not everyone will notice this shift, and that's the test. The calling is hidden, almost like a whisper. It's not for those who are too busy showing off or chasing noise. It's for the quiet warriors, the deep feelers, the ones who don't always fit in. June is like a secret door opening, but only a few will walk through it. And the ones who do, they'll begin to see things differently. What once mattered won't seem as important anymore. There will be a desire to clean out the heart, to become more honest, and to search for real meaning. This shift is not here to scare you. It's here to guide you, but it won't grab your hand. It waits for you to notice it. June is a time of spiritual movement, but it's quiet and sacred. If you feel something deep inside asking you to pause, to reflect, or to grow, that's the shift speaking to you. Listen closely. Because June is no ordinary month, and something powerful has already begun. June has arrived with a quiet storm, not the kind that brings thunder and lightning, but the kind that stirs the spirit. This isn't a normal awakening. It doesn't feel soft or peaceful. It feels like a mirror being held up to our faces, showing us things we may not want to see. June is not about receiving blessings right away, but it's about revealing what's hidden. And for many, that means being tested. This month is exposing everything, your thoughts, your intentions, and even the masks you didn't know you were wearing. If you've been pretending even a little, it will start to show. If you've been lying to yourself just to feel better, those lies will feel heavier now. That's the power of this awakening. It's not here to make you comfortable, it's here to make you real. At first, this might feel confusing. You may ask yourself why things feel harder, why old wounds are opening, or why people are acting differently, but this is all part of the test. June is separating truth from ego. It's pulling away everything that was fake, forced, or fear-based, So what's left is only what's real. And that can be a little scary, but also freeing. Here's where the deeper meaning lies. Ego always wants to be right, to be seen, and to be praised. But truth doesn't need attention. It stands quietly, firm and unshaken. June is watching to see which one is guiding your actions. Are you living from your soul or from your image? This awakening is not a punishment. It's a chance to grow, to be honest, and to step into your true self. Not the one shaped by fear or pride, but the one shaped by purpose. June isn't about quick rewards. It's about being ready to handle what's coming next. And only those who pass this test will be trusted with the next level of blessing. Stay grounded, stay honest. The test has already begun. There's something different in the air this month. Not something loud or obvious, but something subtle, like a new signal being sent out to the soul. It's as if the universe or something higher is speaking on a new level, but not everyone can hear it. That's because the frequency has changed, and only those who are truly aligned with purpose, not pride, will be able to tune in. This frequency isn't made for noise. It's not for people who chase attention or try to look spiritual just to impress others. It's quiet, clear, and full of meaning. Those who are humble, focused, and walking their true path will begin to feel it in their hearts. They might hear it through sudden thoughts that guide them, or a peaceful feeling that shows up during silence. It's not a voice you hear with your ears, it's a message you feel in your spirit. But for others, this frequency gets twisted. Instead of feeling guided, they feel praised. Instead of hearing truth, they hear flattery. This is where ego starts to speak louder than the spirit. Some may think they're receiving a special message, but really they're just feeding their pride. And that's dangerous, because pride makes people blind. It makes them think they're chosen when they're actually being warned. This shift in frequency is not here to lift everyone up. It's here to filter, to reveal who's truly connected and who's just pretending. It's like a spiritual radio station. Only those on the right channel will hear the truth. The rest will only hear noise, or worse, lies dressed as guidance. So if things feel quieter, more inward, more reflective, don't panic. That's a sign you're tuning in to the new frequency. Stay calm, stay centered, and keep listening. Because in the silence of June, the real message is being sent, but only a few are truly listening. June has brought with it a deep spiritual wave, but not everyone will understand what it truly means. While the call is meant to awaken the soul, not every soul is ready to be awakened. Narcissists will hear this call too, but they'll completely misunderstand it. They won't feel the quiet invitation to reflect or grow. Instead, they'll twist it into something that feeds their ego. They'll believe this shift is about them, about their greatness, their chosen status, their spotlight. But they're wrong. This call isn't praise. It's a mirror. And mirrors don't flatter, they reveal. When the spiritual realm sends out a calling, it doesn't just speak to the soft, good parts of us. It shines light into the corners we hide. For the narcissist, that light is terrifying, because behind the charm, the control, and the fake confidence lies the very thing they fear the most, their true self. And June isn't going to let them run from it. But this energy is powerful, and it doesn't care about image. It's not impressed by pride, followers, or sweet words. It's here to strip away illusions, to peel off the layers of performance. And when that happens, narcissists won't find applause, they'll find exposure. They'll feel uncomfortable, angry, or even attacked. But what's really happening is that their mask is starting to crack. They may try to fight it, to control the story, or act like they're above it all, but deep down, something will start to stir. Something they can't explain or stop. That's the mirror doing its work. This isn't meant to punish, it's meant to wake up even the most hardened hearts. But the truth is, not everyone will respond with humility. Some will cling tighter to their pride. Others will break down and begin again. June is showing everyone who they truly are, but only the brave will look. This month, something sacred is happening, something quiet, powerful, and deeply personal. June isn't about loud signs or flashy moments. It's not about big dreams or public blessings. It's about stillness. And in that stillness, the chosen are being whispered to, not shouted at. If you've felt a quiet pull in your spirit lately, if you've been drawn to silence or solitude, that's not your imagination, that's divine communication. It's real. And it's happening now. The world teaches us that power comes with noise, with being seen, heard, and praised. But the spiritual world works differently. The divine doesn't need to scream to get your attention. It speaks gently in moments when your heart is calm and open. That's why this calling is coming as a whisper. It's not meant to be understood by everyone. It's meant for the few who are ready to listen without needing a show. The chosen ones are not perfect people. They're not always the smartest, the most talented, or the most confident. They're the ones who've been broken, humbled, and shaped by pain. They've been through darkness and still chose to grow. And now, in this season, they're being quietly called into something deeper. Not to be worshipped, but to be awakened. Here's the beauty of the whisper. It won't chase you. It won't force itself into your life. It simply waits. Soft, gentle, full of truth. And only those who are slowing down, turning inward, and letting go of noise will hear it. It might come in a dream, in a peaceful thought, in a sudden knowing that something is about to shift. It doesn't need validation, it just is. Meanwhile, those who crave attention will miss it completely. They'll be too busy performing, posting, and pretending. They'll think the silence means nothing's happening. But that's where they're wrong. Because the most powerful things happen in silence. Seeds grow underground, stars shine in the quiet sky, and the soul awakens when the world is still. This June, the chosen are being prepared, not for popularity, but for purpose. The whisper is a sign that you're being trusted with something bigger, but it requires stillness. It requires letting go of the noise around you and within you. It's not about trying harder, it's about listening deeper. So if you've been feeling distant from the world but closer to yourself, if you've been craving peace, quiet, and truth, you're not falling behind. You're tuning in. You're being called. Not everyone will hear it, but those who do will never be the same again. June has arrived not as a season of instant rewards, but as a sacred unveiling. Many people think spiritual awakenings bring sudden joy, miracles, and abundance. But that's not always how the truth works. This month, the energy is not here to elevate first, it's here to expose, and that exposure isn't meant to shame, it's meant to clear the path before the blessings come. Before anything can be blessed, it has to be real. That's the deep lesson of June. You can't build something lasting on lies, pride, or spiritual shortcuts. And this energy knows it, so before it lifts you up, it strips you down. Everything fake, every mask, every false identity, every ego-driven desire will rise to the surface like oil on water. Not to embarrass you, but to give you a choice. Keep pretending or start being honest. This kind of exposure can feel intense. It might look like relationships falling apart, hidden feelings coming up, or situations getting uncomfortable, but all of it is happening for a reason. The universe doesn't expose to destroy, it exposes to prepare. You can't go to the next level with baggage you refuse to face. That's why some people will feel like they're under pressure this month. But it's not punishment, it's purification. The light of truth is shining in dark corners, and it's showing what needs to be healed, not hidden. It's not about who looks spiritual or sounds wise. It's about who's willing to be seen, raw, honest, and unfiltered. Only then comes elevation. Only when the truth stands alone without disguise does it get blessed. June is not about instant rising, it's about deep revealing. And those who endure this exposure with humility and courage are the ones who will be trusted with what's next, because what's coming after June requires clean hands and a clear heart. Sometimes, when changes come, life feels heavy and confusing. You might feel like you're carrying a weight on your shoulders that you can't set down. Days might seem darker and your mind might be full of questions without answers. But here's the truth, this weight you feel isn't a punishment, it's a call. It's preparation for something greater. The chosen ones don't get an easy path. Instead, they face challenges that feel overwhelming because those challenges are shaping them. The pressure you feel right now is like the heat in a forge, shaping metal into something strong and valuable. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also necessary. Without pressure, there's no growth. Without difficulty, there's no strength. If you're confused, it means you're moving out of old ways of thinking. Your mind is stretching, trying to understand new ideas, new feelings, and new parts of yourself. This is part of the journey. It's like being in the middle of a storm. Everything around you is shaking, but the storm will pass. And when it does, you'll be clearer, stronger, and more ready than ever before. This heaviness is not meant to break you. It's meant to prepare you for a breakthrough, a moment when everything suddenly makes sense. That moment is coming. But first, you have to go through the hard part. That's why only the chosen feel this kind of pressure, because they are the ones who will rise higher once the storm ends. So if you're feeling weighed down, don't lose hope. That heaviness is a sign that you're being called to something important. You're not alone in this. The pressure means you're on the right path, even if it doesn't feel that way now. Keep going. The breakthrough is coming. When June's spiritual energy begins to flow, many people feel a deep stirring inside. It feels like a call from the universe, a signal that something important is happening. But not everyone hears this call in the same way. Narcissists will hear it, but they will misunderstand it completely. They will mistake this quiet, powerful invitation as their moment to shine, to step into the spotlight, to claim their destiny. For narcissists, life is often about attention, praise, and control. They seek to be seen and admired, so when they sense this spiritual shift, their first thought is, "This is my time. I am chosen. I am destined for greatness." They rush toward the spotlight, eager to prove themselves, to be recognized, and to gain power. But this response is exactly where they fail. The spiritual call of June is not about shining bright for the world to see. It's about looking inward. It's about reflection, humility, and truth. The universe isn't calling the narcissist to show off or to prove their importance. It's calling them to pause, to face themselves honestly, and to let go of their need for external validation. But narcissists hate reflection because it threatens their carefully built image. Looking inward means seeing flaws, fears, and weaknesses, things they work hard to hide. So instead of accepting the call to grow, they chase the spotlight even harder. They put on more masks, make louder claims, and try to control the narrative around them. They confuse their own pride for destiny. This is where the real test begins, and where narcissists fail. The spiritual energy is testing not who is the loudest or most confident, but who is willing to be real and vulnerable. It is testing who can accept their true self beyond the ego's need to be praised. Those who fail to reflect get stuck in cycles of pride and denial, unable to move forward. Meanwhile, those who hear the call properly understand that greatness doesn't come from being seen, but from being true. They embrace quiet growth, subtle shifts, and the courage to face uncomfortable truths. They know that destiny is not a flashy moment on a stage, but a slow, steady journey of becoming who they are meant to be. For narcissists, this misunderstanding leads to disappointment and frustration. They expect the world to bow to them, but instead, they find doors closing and relationships breaking. Their chase for the spotlight only reveals their emptiness, not their worth. The more they push, the more the universe pulls away. June's call is a powerful filter. It separates those who seek power for pride from those who seek purpose for growth. It challenges everyone to let go of false ideas of destiny and step into true awakening. For narcissists, this means the hardest lesson. Destiny isn't about shining for others, it's about shining from within. And until they learn that, they will continue to fail the test. Sometimes, when life feels lonely and you feel left out or unseen, it's easy to think something is wrong with you. You might feel isolated, like you're on the outside looking in, or that nobody understands what you're going through. But this feeling of being cut off is not a curse. In fact, it can be one of the most important clues you'll ever receive from Spirit. When Spirit pulls you away from the noise and chaos of the world, it's not to punish you or make you suffer. It's a sacred kind of hiding, a protective space where you can heal, grow, and prepare for what's next. This isolation is like being in a quiet room before an important performance. It's where you get ready, practice, and find your true voice without distractions. Being overlooked by others doesn't mean you're invisible to Spirit. On the contrary, it means Spirit is giving you a special chance to connect deeply with yourself. In the stillness, you can listen more clearly to your heart, understand your true purpose, and build strength that you can't find when surrounded by noise and expectations. This time of quiet can feel heavy or lonely, but it's actually a powerful sign. It means you are being kept safe from distractions and negative influences while you prepare for something sacred and important. The world will soon need your light, but first, you need this time to get ready. Many great leaders, healers, and visionaries have gone through seasons of isolation. They used that time to discover their true gifts and find the courage to step into their calling. Your isolation is no different. It's not a punishment, but a sacred preparation. So if you've been feeling quiet, cut off, or overlooked, try to see it as a blessing in disguise. Spirit is hiding you not to keep you away, but to get you ready for a purpose only you can fulfill. This sacred hiding is the calm before your powerful awakening. And when the time is right, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more ready than ever before. June is not just another month on the calendar. It's a powerful time of truth and revelation. The spiritual energy flowing now is so strong that it has the power to burn away every mask people wear. These masks might be emotional, spiritual, or the kind of false humility some show to hide their true selves. No matter what kind of disguise someone wears, June will expose it. This is a month where the truth will rise and pride will fall. Nothing can stay hidden for long. Many people wear masks every day, sometimes without even realizing it. Masks can be a way to protect ourselves from judgment, pain, or rejection. They can be the happy face we show when we're hurting inside, or the confident attitude we display when we feel unsure. Some wear spiritual masks, pretending to be more enlightened or humble than they really are, to gain respect or approval from others. These masks might feel safe, but they stop true growth and keep us stuck in false identities. June's energy is like a fire that doesn't just burn on the surface, it reaches deep, touching the core of who we are. This fire has one clear purpose: to melt away anything fake, forced, or dishonest. When the masks come off, what remains is the pure truth, the real you, stripped of pretenses and pride. This truth can feel scary at first because it means facing parts of ourselves we might want to hide, but it's also freeing because it allows us to live authentically without pretending. This process is not easy for anyone. Pride is one of the hardest things to let go of. It tricks us into believing we have to be perfect or better than others to be loved and accepted. It tells us to cover up mistakes and hide weaknesses. But pride is a mask, and June's fire is designed to make that mask fall. When pride falls, humility rises, not false humility, but real humility, which means accepting yourself honestly and being open to learning and growth. The truth that rises this month will not only change individuals, but entire relationships and communities. When people stop hiding behind masks, communication becomes clearer and deeper. False friendships and fake connections won't survive this kind of honesty. That can be painful, but it also makes room for genuine connections to grow. People who are willing to be real will attract others who value authenticity too. For those who resist this process, June can feel like a difficult or even harsh time. The pressure to maintain appearances will grow, but the energy around them will push harder to reveal the truth. This resistance only makes the mask feel heavier and the fall harder. But for those who surrender to the process, June offers an incredible opportunity for healing and renewal. Letting the mask burn away frees space for your true self to shine, a self that is stronger, wiser, and more connected to your purpose. It's important to remember that no one is perfect, and this burning away of masks is not about judging yourself or others. It's about courage, the courage to be honest and vulnerable even when it's uncomfortable. It's about trusting that the truth, even when it's raw, leads to freedom and growth. So as June unfolds, pay attention to where you might be wearing a mask. Notice when pride is hiding behind false confidence or when you're pretending to be someone you're not. This month invites you to step into your truth, to drop the act, and to let the real you be seen. The fire of June will burn away every mask. The question is, will you let it? Because when the masks fall, what remains is your true self, and that is the most powerful and beautiful version of you. In June, the spiritual energy shifts in a way that brings both challenge and transformation. This time is not for the faint-hearted or the distracted. It is a test, a trial that will separate those who are truly grounded in their spiritual path from those who are only pretending or floating without solid roots. The saying, "Only the spiritually grounded will survive this transition," is not just a metaphor. It is a real truth that will play out in the lives of many this month. Being spiritually grounded means having a deep connection to your inner self, to your values, and to the higher power or purpose you believe in. It means standing firm even when everything around you is shaking. When pressure builds, whether from emotional struggles, life changes, or spiritual challenges, those with strong roots bend but do not break. They keep their balance because their foundation is solid and unshakable. On the other hand, those who lack this spiritual grounding will find it hard to stay upright. Without roots, they are like dry leaves in a storm, tossed and torn apart by every gust of change. They may feel overwhelmed, confused, or lost as June's energy intensifies. This is not just about being religious or following rituals. It's about truly living your spiritual truth, practicing self-awareness, humility, and resilience daily. This month will reveal who is spiritually real and who is just playing a part. The pressure you feel might seem unbearable, but it is a sign that the transition is happening. Those who survive will be the ones who don't give up on their spiritual practice, who seek guidance within, and who stay honest with themselves no matter how tough things get. Survival here is more than just getting through June. It's about emerging stronger, clearer, and more authentic. The spiritually grounded will not only survive, but thrive. They will grow new branches from their roots, reach higher, and shine brighter. They will inspire others by their strength and calm presence. So, if you feel shaken or pressured, remember this. Your spiritual roots are your greatest strength. Nourish them with daily reflection, honest self-examination, and connection to your higher purpose. This transition is tough, but it is a powerful opportunity to prove who you truly are. Those who are spiritually real will survive, and their light will guide the way forward. June arrives with a powerful spiritual energy that shakes the very core of who we are. For many, this month brings what feels like a deep identity crisis, a confusing, unsettling experience where you suddenly question everything about yourself. You might feel lost, unsure of your purpose, or disconnected from your own sense of meaning. This experience can feel overwhelming, but it's important to understand that June is triggering these crises for a reason. It's part of a divine awakening, not a punishment. When you don't fully know who you are, when your sense of self is built on external opinions, roles, or old beliefs, the spiritual energy of June shines a bright light on that confusion. It's like a mirror held up to your soul, revealing gaps, contradictions, and hidden fears you may have ignored or buried. The feeling of being lost is uncomfortable because it forces you to stop running from yourself and to face what lies beneath. This identity crisis isn't random. It's a divine nudge pushing you to grow beyond your current limits. When your old identity no longer fits, it must be questioned and reshaped. This process can feel like losing your way, but it's actually the beginning of finding your true path. You are being called to strip away layers of false identities, masks, and expectations so your real self can emerge. Many people resist this experience because it feels scary. Who wants to feel lost or uncertain? But this resistance only makes the process longer and harder. The truth is, feeling lost is a sign of progress, not failure. It means you are no longer satisfied with surface-level answers or the identity you've outgrown. You are ready to discover who you really are beneath the noise of the world and the roles you've been playing. During this time, you may find yourself questioning long-held beliefs, your career choices, relationships, or even your spiritual path. This is normal. June's energy is designed to break down old structures and make space for new ones, stronger, more authentic, and aligned with your higher purpose. The divine identity crisis is also a call to deepen your self-awareness. It invites you to look inward with kindness and curiosity. What parts of your identity are true? Which parts are borrowed or false? What fears or doubts are holding you back from stepping into your full power? These questions are not meant to trap you in confusion, but to guide you toward clarity. It's helpful to remember that awakening is not a one-time event, but a journey. The process of discovering your true identity happens in stages, often with ups and downs. June's energy might feel intense because it accelerates this process, but the discomfort you feel now is temporary and necessary for lasting transformation. In fact, many spiritual teachers say that the darkest moments of confusion often lead to the brightest moments of clarity. When you allow yourself to sit with the uncertainty and not rush to fix it, you open the door to new insights and breakthroughs. This is the sacred work of the divine identity crisis, a necessary clearing away of old beliefs so your true self can shine. So if you feel lost or confused this June, don't panic or blame yourself. Instead, see it as a sacred invitation to awaken more deeply to who you really are. Trust the process, even if it's uncomfortable. This crisis is not your enemy. It's a powerful guide leading you toward your highest self. In the end, June's divine identity crisis is a gift, a spiritual rebirth that helps you shed the false and step into the real. When the dust settles, you will know yourself in a new, clearer way, ready to live with more purpose, authenticity, and peace. June brings a powerful shift in energy that affects people in very different ways. For those who are truly chosen and spiritually grounded, this month will feel quieter, more introspective, and deeply sacred. At the same time, those driven by ego and narcissism will grow louder, trying to fill the space with noise and distraction. This contrast is not accidental, but is a sign that silence is sacred, not emptiness, and the truth is often found in the quiet, not the loud. In today's world, we often confuse silence with emptiness or weakness. When someone is quiet, many assume they are unsure, lost, or uninvolved. But June's spiritual energy teaches us a different lesson. Silence is a powerful space for reflection, growth, and connection to the divine. It is where the chosen hear the soft whispers of their inner guidance, where clarity rises above chaos, and where true strength is found. The chosen, those who are aligned with purpose and spiritual truth, won't need to shout or prove themselves this month. Their power comes from calm confidence and deep knowing. They understand that growth and transformation happen quietly, within. They will spend more time listening, observing, and processing instead of reacting. This silence is not emptiness. It is filled with meaning, intention, and sacred energy. Meanwhile, narcissists driven by pride and the need for attention will react very differently to June's energy. Feeling threatened by the deep quiet and reflection, they will try to fill every space with noise, loud opinions, dramatic actions, and constant distractions. They use noise as a way to avoid facing their own truth and the cracks in their false identities. The louder they get, the more they try to control the narrative and cover up their fears. This loudness can be confusing and overwhelming, but it's important to watch carefully and not be fooled. The truth isn't always loud. In fact, real truth often speaks in whispers, in silence, and in moments of stillness. The chosen learn to distinguish between noise that distracts and silence that reveals. They trust the quiet moments to show them the real picture, while the narcissists drown out those moments with their clamor. This sacred silence is a space where intuition grows stronger. When the world is noisy, it's hard to hear your inner voice, your true guidance. But in silence, the chosen can tune in deeply to their own heart, to the wisdom of the universe, and to the subtle signs that guide their path. This month, silence becomes a spiritual tool, not a sign of weakness or emptiness. Silence also protects the chosen during this intense spiritual time. It allows them to avoid unnecessary conflicts and energy-draining drama that the loud narcissists create. Instead of engaging in battles or arguments, they conserve their energy for what truly matters, inner growth, healing, and alignment with their higher purpose. This doesn't mean the chosen are invisible or disconnected. On the contrary, their quiet power will be felt by those who are truly listening. Their calm presence will attract others who seek genuine connection and truth. This quiet strength becomes a beacon, standing out clearly against the noisy distractions. As June unfolds, pay attention to the difference between sacred silence and empty quiet. Notice who is adding noise to hide something and who is choosing silence to protect their truth. Learn to appreciate the power of quiet reflection and trust that in those still moments the greatest insights and transformations are taking place. In a world that often values loudness and spectacle, June reminds us that silence is sacred, not emptiness. The chosen will embrace this silence as a powerful sign of their growth and spiritual strength. Meanwhile, the loud voices will only reveal their own need for masks and distractions. This month, let your silence be your strength. In the quiet, your true self will be heard, not with words, but with the deep power of presence and authenticity. June brings a powerful energy that exposes truth like never before, and this month, the fake will rise fast, only to crash even faster. People who try to force their divine moment, who push hard to appear special or chosen without real grounding, will temporarily gain attention. But this rise is built on borrowed energy, false pride, and shaky foundations. June's spiritual force doesn't let those unstable altars stand for long. It has a way of revealing what's fake and causing it to collapse. When someone is truly called or spiritually ready, their growth and success come naturally and steadily. It's rooted in genuine work, deep inner transformation, and alignment with their true purpose. But the fake try to shortcut this process. They want quick fame, recognition, or power. They push their way forward through exaggeration, manipulation, or showing off. For a short time, it might seem like they're winning, gaining followers, praise, or influence. But this energy is borrowed from lies and illusions. June's spiritual energy is like a spotlight that reveals these illusions. It shines brightly on every unstable altar, the fake personas, shallow intentions, and hollow claims. What was once hidden cracks, wide open. The borrowed energy dries up quickly because it wasn't theirs to begin with. This collapse often happens suddenly and dramatically, causing embarrassment, loss of influence, or deep personal setbacks. This process might feel harsh, but it's necessary. It clears the space for real growth and true blessings to come through. The universe has a way of protecting those who are genuine and aligned while removing the false from the path. Those who try to fake their way through this transition will find themselves falling fast because they are not built to last. The lesson is clear. Quick rises based on lies or shallow appearances won't stand the test of June's energy. Only what is true, stable, and deeply rooted will survive and grow stronger. This is a time to focus on authenticity, humility, and steady inner work rather than chasing fast success or fake glory. If you find yourself tempted to force things or put on a show, June warns you to slow down and check your motives. Real spiritual power doesn't need to shout or push. It flows naturally and lasts. The fake will rise and fall like a shooting star, bright but brief, while the true chosen will build something lasting and powerful. In June, a powerful spiritual shift is taking place, one that challenges both the chosen and the narcissists in very different ways. One of the biggest traps during this time is the deep temptation to prove yourself, to seek validation from others, or to shout louder so that your presence is noticed. This urge can feel overwhelming, but it's also one of the main ways narcissists get caught in their own web of illusion. The chosen, on the other hand, don't fall into this trap because they already know who they are. The need to prove yourself comes from insecurity. It's a feeling that you're not enough as you are, so you try to earn approval, praise, or attention from others. This can happen in many ways. Pushing yourself to be louder in conversations, boasting about achievements, or constantly trying to show that you're better than others. While these actions might seem like confidence, they actually come from a place of deep doubt and fear. The person feels fragile inside and tries to fix that by creating an image of strength or greatness. June's spiritual energy shines a bright light on this pattern. It makes it harder to hide behind false masks or loud words. When you're caught in the need to prove yourself, it's like you're walking into a trap. People see through the act and your true feelings become more obvious than ever. Narcissists are especially vulnerable now because their identity depends on this constant validation. When the approval doesn't come, or when their efforts to prove themselves fail, they can become angry, desperate, or collapse emotionally. The chosen, however, experience this temptation very differently, or not at all. They come from a place of quiet confidence and inner knowing. The chosen don't need to shout about their worth because they feel it deeply within themselves. Their identity is rooted in purpose, truth, and self-awareness. Because of this, they don't chase attention or approval. They understand that external validation is temporary and unreliable, while true self-acceptance and spiritual alignment last forever. June is not just another month on the calendar, it is the beginning of a spiritual battleground many are not yet aware of. This period is preparing you for a war you didn't even know was coming, a war that's not fought with weapons, but within the very core of your being. The challenges and tests arriving in June are setting the stage for what lies ahead, and only those who pass these trials will be ready to face what's next. At first glance, June may feel confusing or overwhelming. You might experience sudden shifts in your emotions, thoughts, and energy. Things that once felt stable could start to shake. People around you might reveal hidden sides, and situations may push you beyond your comfort zone. This unrest is not accidental. It's part of a bigger spiritual process designed to prepare you for the battles ahead. Battles that will test your strength, your faith, and your true identity. This war is not about fighting others. It's about fighting the parts of yourself that no longer serve your growth. It's about confronting fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that have been quietly holding you back. Many people never get to this stage because they avoid facing their inner truths. But June's energy pushes you to the edge, forcing you to either rise or fall. This month acts as a spiritual training ground, sharpening your mind, heart, and spirit for what is coming next. Those who fail to recognize this preparation risk being caught unready. They may stumble, lose their way, or become overwhelmed by the intensity of upcoming challenges. But those who understand the purpose of June's tests gain a powerful advantage.